Starting at number 50 and counting down to the most dangerous ocean survival myth that could literally kill you in minutes. Number 50. Follow birds to find land. You've seen it in every shipwreck movie. Desperate survivors spot a bird and follow it to safety. But here's what really happens. Few seabirds sleep on the water or fly more than 100 miles from land. Their direction of flight is usually outwards from land before noon and return in the late afternoon. Following a bird in the morning? You're heading straight into open ocean. Plus, after rough weather, birds can be blown way off course, making them completely unreliable navigators. Even worse, some seabirds like albatrosses can stay aloft for months without touching land, leading you on an endless chase to nowhere. Number 49. Jellyfish are safe to eat if you're desperate. Survival guides sometimes mention jellyfish as emergency food, but this advice could be your last meal. Do not eat jellyfish, period. Even species that appear harmless can contain toxins that cause severe reactions, from paralysis to cardiac arrest. Your desperate hunger isn't worth risking death by jellyfish venom. The gelatinous tissue offers almost no nutritional value anyway, while the nematocysts, stinging cells, remain active even in dead jellyfish, potentially causing internal injuries that are impossible to treat at sea. Number 48. Stay still in the water to conserve energy. This seems logical until you realize that do not go swimming. It wastes energy. Besides, a survival craft may drift faster than you can swim, but there's a crucial distinction. If you're already in the water without a raft, staying completely still makes you invisible to rescuers and accelerates hypothermia. Controlled movement maintains core temperature better than floating motionless. The key is finding the balance between conserving energy and maintaining enough motion to stay warm and visible. Treading water slowly is often better than complete stillness. Number 47. Dolphins mean no sharks. The heartwarming myth that dolphins protect humans from sharks? Pure fiction. Sharks and dolphins often cruise the same waters because they eat many of the same animals. Even worse, they also sometimes eat each other. Dolphins feed on smaller shark species, and large sharks are known to attack dolphins. Seeing dolphins doesn't mean you're safe. It might mean you're in a feeding zone. In fact, the presence of dolphins often indicates abundant fish populations, which attracts more predators, not fewer. Some documented cases show dolphins can be aggressive toward humans, especially during mating season. Number 46. All fish are edible if cooked. Stranded at sea and caught a fish? Don't assume cooking makes it safe. Or fish that have spikes. Or fish that have parrot-like beaks. Or that puff up like balloons should never be eaten, cooked or not. Many tropical fish contain seawater toxin that cooking doesn't destroy, causing severe neurological symptoms that can last months. The toxin accumulates in larger predatory fish and causes reverse temperature sensation. Hot feels cold and vice versa, along with severe gastrointestinal distress that depletes your precious water reserves through vomiting and diarrhea. Number 45. Shark fins above water mean attack. Thanks to Hollywood, we think sharks announce themselves with dramatic fin displays. Reality check. Far from mindless, many sharks actually have fairly large brains. They are smart and curious with complex social behaviors. Most sharks investigating humans do so underwater, and great whites are curious and investigative animals. You won't see them coming until they're already checking you out. When sharks do show fins above water, they're often feeding on surface prey or regulating body temperature, not hunting humans. The real danger comes from below, where 90% of investigatory approaches occur without any visible warning. Number 44. Ocean water is sterile. Some survival experts claim ocean water can clean wounds because salt kills bacteria. This is dangerously wrong. Seawater contains millions of bacteria per milliliter, including flesh-eating varieties. Using ocean water on open wounds introduces pathogens directly into your bloodstream, potentially causing fatal infections within hours. Vibrio vulnificus, found in warm seawater, can cause necrotizing fasciitis, flesh-eating disease, with mortality rates exceeding 50% when it enters through wounds. The salt doesn't sterilize, it creates an ideal environment for marine pathogens. Number 43. Play dead during shark encounters. While Mythbusters confirmed that this is true in some contexts, the reasoning is flawed. De Gelder debunks one myth. Punching a charging shark will stop its attack. Playing dead might work with some predators, but sharks investigate with their mouths. Remaining motionless during an investigatory bite means you're not defending yourself when it matters most. Sharks use a bite and release technique to assess prey. Playing dead during this critical moment prevents you from deterring the shark before it decides whether you're worth eating. Active defense targeting sensitive areas is far more effective. Number 42. Turtles are your friends. Life of Pi made sea turtles seem like gentle ocean companions. The reality? Turtles are an easy catch and make for excellent meals. Mind the beak and the claws. Sea turtle bites can sever fingers, and their claws can cause serious lacerations. They're wild animals fighting for survival, not Disney characters. A loggerhead turtle's jaw can exert over 500 pounds of pressure per square inch, enough to crush bones. Even smaller species carry salmonella and other pathogens that cause severe illness when transmitted through bites or scratches. Number 41. You can survive weeks without water. The 3-week rule applies to food, not water. Water is essential for the human body to function correctly. It is involved in nearly every bodily process, including temperature regulation, waste removal, and the transport of nutrients. At sea, with sun exposure and salt air, severe dehydration can kill in 3 to 5 days, not weeks. The maritime environment accelerates water loss through increased perspiration, salt spray inhalation, and the dry air created by constant wind. Most ocean survivors who die succumb to dehydration long before starvation becomes an issue. Number 40. Blood attracts sharks from miles away. The single drop of blood myth terrifies swimmers unnecessarily. While sharks have excellent olfactory systems, a single drop of blood will not attract them from far away. The ocean's currents dilute blood rapidly. While sharks can detect blood, they need significant concentrations to investigate. A small cut won't summon every shark in the ocean. Studies show sharks respond more strongly to fish blood than mammalian blood, and they require parts per billion concentrations sustained over time to trigger hunting behavior. Your minor wound is statistically irrelevant in the vast ocean. Number 39. Raft torches work while moving. Need light on your makeshift raft? Torches do work on rafts, but only if you are standing still. The wind from movement extinguishes flames immediately. This myth has left countless survivors in darkness, unable to signal rescuers at night when visibility is crucial. Even slight ocean breezes, typically 5 to 10 knots stronger than on land, make maintaining any open flame nearly impossible. Modern survivors should prioritize waterproof LED lights or chemical light sticks over any flame-based illumination for reliable signaling. Number 38. Whales spray water from blowholes. That iconic whale spout? It's not water being expelled. Whales don't have water in their lungs. Blowholes work like nostrils. The spray is just them exhaling air. This matters for survival because getting close to a whale's blowhole means breathing their bacterial-laden exhaust, not refreshing ocean mist. The visible spout is condensed water vapor mixed with mucus and bacteria, creating an aerosol that can transmit respiratory pathogens. Whale breath can also contain high levels of methane and other gases, toxic to humans in concentrated doses. Number 37. Moss points north. The classic wilderness navigation trick fails catastrophically at sea. Even on desert islands, moss grows where moisture accumulates, which depends on prevailing winds, not compass directions. Relying on moss for navigation has sent countless people deeper into danger rather than toward rescue. In tropical regions, moss grows on all sides of trees due to high humidity. On islands, ocean-facing sides often have more moss due to salt spray and fog, regardless of compass direction. This myth becomes deadly when it leads survivors away from visible landmarks or rescue signals. Number 36. Big waves mean big danger. While massive waves are frightening, fish often gather beneath vessels during calm conditions. It's the calm seas that often precede the worst storms. Experienced sailors fear glass-smooth water more than moderate waves. It signals pressure systems that spawn hurricanes. The calm before the storm isn't just a saying, It's a meteorological reality caused by descending air and approaching low-pressure systems. These conditions can transform from mirror smooth to life-threatening in under an hour, catching unprepared survivors in deadly weather. Number 35, near-drowning victims are fine once breathing. Pulled someone from the water? They're breathing and talking? They're not safe yet. If you rescue someone from a near drowning, they still need to go to the hospital. The lungs are coated with a slippery mucus-like substance called a surfactant. Their lungs could collapse at any moment. Secondary drowning can kill hours after rescue. Saltwater is particularly dangerous because it draws fluid into the lungs, causing pulmonary edema that worsens over time. Victims who seem fine can suddenly develop acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS, up to 72 hours later. Number 34. Seasickness medication makes you weak. Macho survivors who refuse seasickness medication often die first. Severe seasickness causes dehydration through vomiting, depletes electrolytes, and impairs judgment. Taking medication isn't weakness. It's a survival strategy that preserves your body's resources for actual emergencies. Untreated seasickness can lead to a condition called mal de débarquement, where the brain loses its ability to adapt to motion, creating permanent balance problems. Early medication prevents the cascade of nausea, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalance that turns manageable situations into life-threatening crises. Number 33. All sharks must swim to breathe. The myth that sharks die if they stop swimming leads to false security. While some shark species must swim continuously to breathe and survive, not all do. Species can remain stationary and continue to respire using special breathing techniques. That sleeping shark might be very much alive and aware. Nurse sharks, carpet sharks, and many reef species use buccal pumping to actively draw water over their gills while motionless. They often rest in caves or under ledges during the day, perfectly capable of attacking if disturbed. Number 32. Float on your back to rest. Floating on your back seems restful, but in ocean conditions, it's often fatal. Waves wash over your face, saltwater enters airways, and you can't see approaching dangers. The recovery position that works in pools fails catastrophically in open ocean swells. Even small waves can flood your airway when floating supine, and the position makes it impossible to spot rescue vessels or dangerous marine life. The safest resting position is vertical with minimal movement, keeping your head above water and maintaining 360-degree awareness. Number 31. Barracudas attack shiny objects. The jewelry warning is partly true but misses the real danger. Barracudas investigate shiny objects but rarely attack humans. The real risk? Removing all metal means losing potential signaling devices. That dangerous watch might be your only way to flash SOS signals at rescue aircraft. Barracuda attacks on humans are extremely rare. Fewer than 30 documented cases worldwide. The greater danger is discarding potentially life-saving reflective materials based on exaggerated fears of fish that are generally more curious than aggressive. Number 30. Storm petrels bring bad luck. Ancient sailing superstition claims these birds herald storms. Sailors did, however, consider it unlucky to touch a storm petrel, especially one that landed on the ship. But avoiding or harming these birds based on superstition wastes energy and removes potential weather indicators. Their behavior actually can predict pressure changes. Storm petrels feed by pattering across the water's surface, becoming more active before storms when plankton rises. Observing their behavior provides valuable weather information, while superstitiously avoiding them eliminates a natural barometer. Number 29. Green water means shallow safe. Color doesn't equal safety. Green water can indicate algae blooms, toxic, runoff, polluted, or depth changes, dangerous currents. The emerald waters that look inviting often hide the strongest riptides and most dangerous conditions. Clear blue water, while deeper, is often safer. Green water in tropical areas frequently indicates lagoons with razor-sharp coral, strong tidal currents, and higher concentrations of dangerous marine life hunting in the shallows. The beautiful color masks navigation hazards and water quality issues. Number 28. You can punch a shark's nose. The most repeated shark defense advice? Mostly useless. The shark's nictitating membrane, a protective eyelid-like barrier, is designed for protection against thrashing fish. Instead, concentrate your blows against the shark's delicate eyes or gills. Aim for the eyes and gills. The nose punch is Hollywood fiction. The snout contains the ampullae of Lorenzini, electromagnetic sensors that are sensitive but well protected. Striking the nose often triggers a reflexive bite response rather than retreat. Jamming fingers into gill slits or eyes causes actual pain and disrupts vital functions. Number 27. Life jackets always save lives. A life jacket keeps you afloat, not alive. In cold water, it can accelerate hypothermia by keeping your body vertical. In rough seas, standard life jackets can flip unconscious victims face down. Without proper positioning and additional survival strategies, a life jacket merely ensures they'll find your body. Type Y offshore life jackets are designed to turn unconscious wearers face up, but only in relatively calm conditions. In breaking waves or strong currents, even the best life jacket can't prevent water inhalation or cold shock response. Number 26. Fish behavior predicts weather. Fish jumping means storm coming is partially true but fatally oversimplified. Fish jump for many reasons: escaping predators, catching prey, or mating displays. Relying on fish behavior over actual weather signs, cloud formations, pressure changes, leads to being caught in storms unprepared. While some species do respond to barometric pressure changes, their behavior varies by species, season, and location. Mullet jump constantly in calm weather, while tuna may breach during feeding frenzies unrelated to weather patterns. Number 25. Saltwater heals wounds. The natural antiseptic myth kills through infection. Studies have shown that for most minor injuries, simply using clean water for wound cleaning effectively minimizes infection risk. Ocean water introduces flesh-eating bacteria, marine pathogens, and accelerates wound breakdown. Even small cuts can become life-threatening when exposed to seawater. Beyond bacteria, seawater contains microscopic jellyfish larvae, harmful algae, and industrial pollutants that turn minor wounds into major medical emergencies. The osmotic pressure of saltwater also damages healing tissue. Number 24. Sunburn is just uncomfortable. Ocean sunburn isn't just painful, it's potentially fatal. Severe burns cause fluid loss, destroy skin's protective barrier, and trigger systemic inflammation. Without skin protection, sun exposure on water, with reflection doubling UV intensity, can cause second-degree burns within hours, leading to shock and death. Sun poisoning at sea includes symptoms like fever, chills, nausea, and delirium, all of which impair survival decision-making. The combination of dehydration from burns and inability to regulate temperature has killed many survivors who focused on other threats while ignoring sun protection. Number 23. All seaweed is edible. Desperate humans see floating salad. Reality serves poison. Many seaweed species contain toxins, heavy metals, or harbor dangerous microorganisms. Some cause severe gastric distress, depleting precious fluids. Without specific species knowledge, eating random seaweed is Russian roulette with your digestive system. Caulerpa taxifolia, found in tropical waters, contains caulerpanine toxin causing nausea, diarrhea, and neurological symptoms. Many seaweeds also concentrate heavy metals like arsenic and mercury from polluted waters, causing long-term poisoning even if they don't kill immediately. Number 22. Thunderstorms pass quickly at sea. On land, storms pass. At sea, you might be traveling with them. Ocean storms can chase vessels for days, growing stronger over warm water. The waited-out strategy that works on land becomes a death sentence when storms match your drift speed. Maritime thunderstorms often form in lines or clusters, meaning surviving one cell puts you directly in the path of the next. Without propulsion, you drift with the same weather system, experiencing hours or days of continuous lightning, wind, and torrential rain. Number 21. Swimming attracts predators. The opposite is often true. Floating attracts more attention than controlled swimming. Very, very few people have negative encounters with sharks, and most attacks occur on stationary or slow-moving targets. Purposeful swimming makes you appear less like prey than helpless floating. Predators key on distress signals, erratic splashing, vertical floating, and panic movements. Smooth, deliberate swimming strokes mimic healthy marine animals rather than injured prey. The key is avoiding the frantic movements that trigger predatory instincts while maintaining steady progress. Number 20. Coconuts provide everything. The tropical island superfood? Not quite. While coconuts offer water and calories, exclusive coconut consumption causes severe diarrhea, depleting electrolytes faster than they're replaced. The coconut diet has killed more castaways through dehydration than starvation. Coconut water acts as a natural laxative due to its high potassium and magnesium content. Consuming more than 1 or 2 per day causes osmotic diarrhea, rapidly depleting the body's water and salt reserves. The high-fat content of coconut meat also requires significant water for digestion. Number 19. Clear sky means safe sailing. Clear skies often precede the worst maritime disasters. High-pressure systems creating crystal-clear conditions can rapidly collapse, spawning severe weather with little warning. The prettiest sailing days hide the most dangerous meteorological instability. Rapidly clearing skies after storms indicate strong high pressure that can create dangerous wind shears and rogue waves. The absence of clouds also means no visual warning of approaching weather fronts that can arrive with hurricane-force winds in minutes. Number 18. Albatrosses lead to land. These masters of oceanic flight are the worst guides to shore. Adults are renowned for their intricate courtship dance displays, but they spend years traveling thousands of miles around the globe. Following an albatross means following a bird that might not touch land for months. Satellite tracking shows wandering albatrosses routinely travel 10,000 miles in a single foraging trip, using dynamic soaring to cover vast distances without landing. They're literally the worst possible birds to follow if you're seeking land. Number 17. You can eat raw shellfish. But what about oysters? The worms in sushi and the bacteria in oysters aren't usually the right species to take up residence in a human host, in restaurants. Wild shellfish are filter feeders concentrating toxins, bacteria, and parasites. Raw consumption causes paralytic shellfish poisoning, potentially fatal within hours. During red tides, shellfish can contain saxitoxin levels 1,000 times higher than safe limits. This neurotoxin causes paralysis starting with the lips and spreading to respiratory muscles. There's no antidote, and death occurs from respiratory failure while fully conscious. Number 16. Small waves are safe. Small, frequent waves are often more dangerous than large swells. They indicate shallow water, reefs, or strong currents. These choppy conditions capsize small craft more effectively than predictable large waves. Smooth swells are generally safer than chaotic chop. Confused seas with waves from multiple directions create unpredictable conditions that can swamp boats suddenly. The short period between small waves prevents recovery time, leading to progressive flooding that large, well-spaced waves don't cause. Number 15. Boil seawater long enough to drink. No amount of boiling makes seawater potable. Boiling concentrates salt as water evaporates. The only way to make seawater drinkable is through distillation or reverse osmosis. Humans evolved to drink fresh water, and drinking seawater can lead to increased dehydration. Boiling actually increases salinity as pure water evaporates, leaving minerals behind. Desperate survivors who drink concentrated brine suffer faster kidney failure than those drinking straight seawater. Proper distillation requires collecting and condensing steam, not just heating water. Number 14. Hypothermia only happens in cold water. Hypothermia is the #1 killer of people in the outdoors the world over, and most cases happen in 50-degree F weather. In 70-degree levels water, hypothermia kills in hours. Even tropical waters below 80-degree levels cause gradual heat loss. The warm ocean myth has killed countless survivors who didn't recognize symptoms until too late. Water conducts heat 25 times faster than air. Even 85-degree water, which feels warm initially, drops core temperature below survival limits within 12-24 hours. The gradual nature makes victims unaware they're dying until coordination fails. Number 13. Flare guns work when wet. Maritime flares are water-resistant, not waterproof. Immersion often causes misfires or weak signals invisible beyond a few hundred yards. Assuming your soaked flares will work when rescue appears has left many watching salvation pass by, unable to signal effectively. Salt water corrodes firing mechanisms within hours, and moisture penetrates waterproof seals under pressure. Even if wet flares fire, the compromised propellant produces dim signals that aircraft can't see from altitude. Testing flares after water exposure often wastes the only working units. Number 12. Oil calms dangerous seas. The old sailing trick of pouring oil on troubled waters? Minimally effective and wastes precious resources. While oil slightly reduces surface tension, it doesn't stop dangerous waves. Modern survivors waste cooking oil or fuel, trying this antiquated technique instead of preserving resources. The amount of oil needed to create even minimal effect in ocean conditions would require barrels, not the cups available to survivors. Any small benefit disappears within minutes as wind and currents disperse the oil film. Number 11. Night sailing is safer. Cooler temperatures seem appealing, but darkness multiplies ocean dangers exponentially. You can't see debris, breaking waves, or changes in conditions. Most importantly, most attacks occur early in the morning or near sunset. Night movement should be absolute last resort. Nocturnal predators become active. Bioluminescence makes you visible from below, and the inability to read wave patterns leads to capsizing. Rescue vessels also can't spot you without active signaling, making night the worst time for emergency travel. Number 10. Sharks are mindless killers. This myth causes panic-driven mistakes. Far from mindless, many sharks actually have fairly large brains. They are smart and curious with complex social behaviors. Understanding that most unprovoked shark bites are likely investigatory helps you respond appropriately instead of frantically, which triggers predatory behavior. Sharks exhibit learning behaviors, remember negative experiences, and often avoid humans after non-rewarding encounters. Panic responses like thrashing or rapid swimming trigger chase instincts in otherwise disinterested sharks. Number 9. You can survive on fish blood. Desperate survivors try drinking fish blood for hydration. While the consumption of animal blood has helped to keep survivors alive, the risk may not justify the gain. Fish blood contains high protein levels requiring water to process, accelerating dehydration. It's literally drinking your way to faster death. The high iron content causes nausea and vomiting, while proteins require significant water for metabolism. Fish blood also carries marine parasites and bacteria that cause severe gastrointestinal illness, further depleting water reserves through diarrhea. Number 8. Lifeboat supplies last weeks. Standard lifeboat rations assume quick rescue, not extended survival. Most emergency supplies last 3 to 5 days maximum. The fully stocked lifeboat myth prevents crucial early rationing decisions. Start conserving immediately. Rescue might take months, not days. International regulations require only 24 to 48 hours of supplies per person. In remote ocean areas, rescue averages 2 to 3 weeks. Survivors who consume rations normally die of starvation waiting for rescue that assumes they're rationing. Number 7. Stay with the wreckage. Sometimes staying with wreckage means going down with it. Modern ships sink fast, creating suction that pulls swimmers under. Large debris can shift, crushing survivors. The always stay with the boat rule must be balanced against immediate sinking dangers. Composite materials in modern vessels break into sharp fragments. Fuel creates toxic slicks, and electrical systems pose electrocution risks. The decision to abandon ship must consider whether the wreckage helps or hinders survival. Number 6. Rainwater is always safe. First rain after dry periods washes atmospheric pollutants, salt spray, and bird droppings from surfaces. Initial rainfall can be more toxic than helpful. Always let rain clean surfaces for several minutes before collecting. Desperate, immediate consumption of first rain has poisoned many survivors. Ocean rain often contains concentrated pollutants from industrial emissions and ship exhaust. The first 10-15 minutes of rainfall can have pH levels low enough to cause chemical burns to the digestive system. Number 5. Use urine for hydration. The desert survival myth becomes deadly at sea. Can we drink urine? My response, you could, but why would you want to? Urine is full of the body's waste products. With saltwater exposure already stressing kidneys, drinking urine accelerates renal failure. It's biochemical suicide. Urine from dehydrated individuals contains concentrated salts and metabolic wastes at levels approaching seawater. Each cycle of drinking and reprocessing urine exponentially increases toxin concentration until kidney function ceases entirely. Number 4. Ration water carefully. Counterintuitively, strict water rationing often kills faster than liberal consumption. Dehydration can quickly impair cognitive and physical abilities, reducing a person's capacity to make sound decisions or perform necessary survival tasks. Drink when thirsty to maintain mental function for finding more water. The body can't store water like fat. Severe rationing just accelerates mental deterioration. Maintaining cognitive function to problem-solve water procurement yields better survival outcomes than hoarding inadequate supplies while judgment deteriorates. Number 3. I wait 48 hours to report someone missing. This TV-perpetuated myth has killed countless people. You don't actually have to, and probably shouldn't, wait 48 hours to report someone as missing. Those first hours are crucial. In ocean scenarios, every hour exponentially decreases survival chances. Report immediately. Ocean currents disperse search areas rapidly. A 24-hour delay creates a search zone hundreds of square miles larger. Coast Guard statistics show 80% of ocean rescues occur within 12 hours of accidents. Waiting 48 hours virtually guarantees you're searching for bodies, not survivors. Number 2. Small sips of seawater are okay. The just a sip rationalization is fatal. When you drink water from the sea or ocean, your body needs more water to get rid of the salt than it's getting out of the seawater itself. Even small amounts trigger a dehydration cascade. Human kidneys can only produce urine that's slightly less salty than salt water. The myth persists because initial relief feels real, but cellular dehydration accelerates invisibly. Each sip requires more fresh water to process than it provides, creating a mathematical certainty of death. Number 1. Drinking seawater extends survival time. The deadliest myth that kills within days. Drinking seawater for hydration. Alcohol actually dilates skin surface blood vessels and capillaries, which will chill your core even faster, but seawater is worse. Human kidneys can only make urine that is less salty than salt water. Therefore, to get rid of all the excess salt taken in by drinking seawater, you urinate more water than consumed. If you're guzzling seawater, you actually aren't taking in any water but are incurring a net loss, leading to depleted body fluids, muscle cramps, dry mouth, and yes, thirst. The math is brutal. Every cup of seawater drunk requires 1.5 cups of fresh water to process. So, in order to remove the extreme amount of sodium taken in by salt water, we urinate more water than we actually drank. It's not slow death. It's accelerated suicide by dehydration, killing in 3-4 days instead of 7 to 10 without any water. The cellular damage begins immediately as osmotic pressure pulls water from cells, causing irreversible organ damage within hours. Hallucinations, kidney failure, and cardiovascular collapse follow in rapid succession. There is no recovery once the process begins. Drinking seawater is choosing the fastest, most agonizing death available at sea. These 50 myths aren't just wrong, they're deadly. Ocean survival requires abandoning movie logic for harsh reality. The sea doesn't care about your survival manual if it's full of myths. Knowledge of what not to do is often more valuable than any survival technique. Remember, in a real ocean emergency, your greatest enemy isn't sharks, storms, or starvation. It's acting on false information that sounds logical, but defies ocean reality. When in doubt, preserve energy, maintain core temperature, stay visible to rescuers, and never, ever drink the water that surrounds you. The ocean has no mercy for those who believe Hollywood over physics, chemistry, and biology. Your survival depends entirely on separating maritime myths from scientific reality. One wrong decision based on false information can transform a survivable situation into certain death within hours. Your life depends on knowing the difference between Hollywood myths and ocean reality.